To this day, I've never drunk a pint of lager.
What?
No.
You've never drank a pint of lager?
Never drunk a pint of lager in my life.
What's your poison then?
I knew that question was coming. I drink Malibu and Coke. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Is he a nice man?
Yeah.
Have you got any dirt on him? Anything I can ask him?
Squeaky clean.
You didn't?
Does a lot of cherry.
I don't want to hear this.
Oh, good afternoon, Barry.
How are you?
Very good, mate. Come on in.
Thank you for inviting us to your home. I suppose we'll start with Southampton doing so well at the moment. You must be absolutely thrilled.
In dreamland at the minute. To be able to sit on that panel on a Saturday afternoon knowing that my team are on top of all their three is absolutely brilliant. And I never thought I'd ever be in that position, so I'm making the most of it while it lasts.
To what do you attribute their success?
I think the basis of the success so far this season has definitely been the defence. I've never known a Southampton team to look so solid. I mean, when I played, it was like we knew we were going to concede a goal. We just had to try and score a few more than the other team. So to see this is absolutely brilliant.
There'll be a lot of viewers who would never have seen you or Merce or Tomo or Charlie Nicholas play.
Yeah.
Is it a concern for you that you might get sort of traded in for younger models?
Yeah, it's going to happen someday. But yeah, thankfully there's YouTube and the internet to show these people that actually in our day we could play a little bit and we know what we're talking about.
Speaking of YouTube, your YouTube greatest hits is just a thing of beauty. Some of the goals you've got have been just out of this world. I'm going to ask, I suspect I know the answer, what your own favourite is Blackburn?
Yeah, my own favourite is the Blackburn one. Yeah. It wasn't one of them where you just kind of put your head down and smack through it and don't know where it's going. It was actually a shot that I've been practicing in training quite a bit, which surprises people when I tell them that because they didn't think I went training. But I did, and
we'll get to that.
It was a shot that I had practiced, and it came off brilliantly. It was exactly where I was trying to aim the ball. That was what, for me, that's what made it special, and the fact that my mate was in goal for Blackburn that day. Famously,
you scored a hat-trick for England B in the run-up to '98 World Cup. Didn't make the squad at 30. And it was Glenn Hoddle who was manager at the time, a creative midfielder and someone I believe you really admired as a player.
Yeah, Glenn was my hero as a kid. You know, I was a Spurs fan growing up, and yeah, that was massive disappointment. I always played my football for Southampton, hoping that if I played well, I can play for England, and that's what kind of keeps you going at club level. And then when I realised that that's been taken away from me, I think I almost looked back and thought, well, it doesn't matter how well I'm going to play, I'm never going to get there again. And then I started picking up a few injuries and stuff, and it all kind of went downhill from there.
Presumably you could have made a lot more money. Apparently you signed Southampton, YTS, you were on 26 quid a week?
Yep. Right? Went up to 35 quid in the second year though.
Towards the end of your career you were on 3.5 grand a week.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's going to be people listening to this going, what? You know, it's peanuts. Do you wish perhaps you'd been born 20 years later? So, you know.
Do you know what? I actually don't,
right.
Strangely enough. And I think the reason for that is because I'm not sure that in today's game that I would have enjoyed it as much. You can barely have a life or do one little thing wrong without it being blown 100 times out of proportion and stuck all over Twitter and Facebook and all sorts of stuff. So I'm actually pretty glad that I played in the era that I did, where you could have a bit of a life outside of football as well, and you could be, you know, a little bit mischievous off the field here and there, and people didn't get to hear about it.
Your diet perhaps wasn't all it might have been. McDonald's on the way in, and
I did on occasions. I actually wasn't a massive burger eater at McDonald's, to be honest. My favourite meal was the sausage and egg McMuffin, to be honest. So I used to have 1 or 2 of those on the way to training on occasions, not every day.
How can you run around with 2 of those sitting?
It was difficult, and actually, you say that, the mornings that I did try and do that, I actually found out that after about 20 minutes of kind of warming up and stuff, I did find I was getting a bit lightheaded and palpitations were coming in, and I thought, yeah, it's probably not the best thing to eat for breakfast. So after a while I did stop.
So we'll leave it there, I suppose. Thank you very much.